Hello, Soul Family. It's the Healing Grasshopper here to do a lunar eclipse reading for you. So, I've decided to do separate readings for eclipses because they carry what I feel are particularly useful energies that we can work with to improve our lives. So, there are plenty of other very powerful astrological events that happen throughout the year, and I will be incorporating them into the monthly readings. And if you remember, I promised in the yearly readings to remind you of the events and their energies on a monthly basis as they grow closer. So I'll be doing that. If you haven't seen your yearly, though, it's worth having a look as there's plenty of useful info. I'll leave the link below. So, we have a lunar eclipse in Libra happening on the 25th, and the general energy and focus of this eclipse is on relationships and examining the quality and health of our relationships and either working to improve them or possibly parting with them. It will be up to you on what you feel. Either way, it'll help us heal our light bodies. So, if we think of the essence of Libra is about balance, and balancing energy is healing energy. So, but for each sign, it will affect us in different ways. So that's why I'm doing this video. So let's begin with the astrology really quickly, and then we'll get into tarot. Hello, Scorpio. Let's start with a little bit of astrology. I'm going to remind you uh, what my notes said from January, and then we'll get into tarot. But first, let's talk about what a lunar eclipse is. It's for those of you who don't know, it's when the Earth passes between the sun and the moon that blocks out the light to the moon. So it's us passing in front of it that creates the darkness. Um, so lunar eclipses have the energy of assessing the recent past within the past 6 months from the past lunar eclipse to the present lunar eclipse and how it's affecting you in the present. So it's a good time to tie up loose ends and complete things that have been left unfinished. Um, so, what my notes said about the lunar eclipse was for you, Scorpio, this will be a good time to quiet your monkey mind and work on developing your intuition. You have been feeling the need for quiet, which tells you now that it's time to become more acquainted with your spiritual nature. It's always a good time to do that. So, but the new part that I'm going to add about the lunar eclipse is Chris Renstrom's interpretation, who is a really great astrologer that I just found out has just started a YouTube channel. I've really liked him for many, many years since he was in Allure magazine, and so very excited to see this astrologer on YouTube now. So what he says is, I'll leave a link in the description below if you're interested. I do not know him. I'm just a fan of his. You might find yourself at the end of a relationship, Chris says, if it is shaky to begin with. At the very least, there might be an assessment of the relationship with a possible temporary separation that begins the clarity that helps repair the relationship. Um, so that's a paraphrase, by the way. He says a whole lot more, but that's pretty much in a nutshell what he was talking about for you. So, that's what Libra energy is about. It's about balance. So, you know, in relationships. So this very much talks about Some of you who are in those shaky relationships, you're really going to need to confront the problem. And, by the way, I know you probably know this, but it doesn't mean like, oh, on that day. And when the day comes and goes, the energy comes and goes. There's shadow period before and after. It could be like up to a month after that you're dealing with this energy. With, by the way, like 5 days after the eclipse, um, is Mercury retrograde. So that always makes, troubles in a relationship a little bit more complicated. So like this, yes, okay. So you got the Wheel of Fortune there. That's always good to see. It's in any situation, but in this is really good because, boy, dealing with troubled relationships, not fun. But getting resolution with them too is always a good thing. You don't want things to go stagnant and be sitting in it any longer than you need to. This is in the beginning, in the middle here. Yes. Okay. Nine of Swords in the center. You guys, okay. So we have not gotten there yet, obviously. Well, it depends on when you're listening to this. Um, but this is not new. This is not a problem that just sprung on you. You've been dealing with this for a while. It's really bothering you, keeping you up at night. You're really concerned about it. But things are coming to a head now where you're going to need to face things and talk about things and not keep things to yourself. Things that need to be said need to be said. You can't stay quiet to save another person's feelings or to avoid unpleasantry. You're really going to need to look at things, examine things, and together with your significant other. Three of Wands. Okay. Ace of Pentacles. We got the Temperance here. Knight of Wands. Okay. This is reversed, yes? With the Seven of Swords. That's the surprising last card here. One more spirit, please. Card outcome card. Okay, yeah. Yeah. I got this Eight of Cups feeling from the Three of Wands, but I wasn't sure until the Eight of Cups came up. Okay, so for a number of you, I think you're feeling that you're at the end of your tether. Um, and it might be time to call it quits. Um, Neither of you, there's a Johnny Mathis song. And it's also John, I don't think it's Johnny Mathis, even though he does sing it. I think Gladys Knight and the Pips were the first to sing it. It's called Neither One of Us. Neither one of us wants to be the first to say goodbye, is the line in the chorus of that song. And yeah, I think both of you are hanging on to this relationship in a unhealthy way. And I don't know, who knows? If you both want it and you're both willing to work on it, maybe it'll work. But I do know that, again, you're going to need to talk about things, and you can't continue on in the relationship kind of ignoring the elephant in the room, because that's just not going to work anymore. And the more you try and do that, the more uncomfortable it's going to be for you. So, you might as well nip it in the bud and make the decision. Spirit is saying here that no matter what happens, there's a good outcome for everyone. You're just going to need to find that good outcome. Temperance here is talking about a balance, which is the energy that Libra brings, right? Of speaking and listening. And being empathetic and generous, giving and taking, that kind of thing. Where you can be angry about something and you don't like what the other person is doing, but you're going to need to stop and put yourself in their shoes, you know? And that resentment is going to get you nowhere. There needs to be more understanding and less resentment um, on both sides. And if you see that there's a lot of resentment coming at you from the other side, you've got to think about what you can do to mitigate that. You know, maybe acknowledge the fact that you see that and ask them what you can do to alleviate that so you can both see clearer. You know, I don't know what's happening in your relationships, but there needs to be an kind of a quelling of egos here. Because your ego is never going to see you through to a positive outcome when there's discord. It's got to be done with the heart here. So let's address the egos on either side, and if you can somehow you might need to help your significant other quiet their ego, and that might be you offering them something. There might be some yielding here that you might need to do to get them to put their guard down. I don't know. You do whatever your heart is telling you should do. But here's the Knight of Wands, which says that you're going to know what to do. And the Ace of Pentacles here, you have the Nine of Pentacles, the Ace of Pentacles, beautiful. This isn't necessarily talking about money here. It's talking about what you value in life. And you're really going to need to assess that. What is it that you want? You may want to heal this relationship so that you can both be in a more loving situation. Or it may also be you looking forward to seeing your freedom in your new life without this person. which is what the Eight of Cups is suggesting here. I'm not going to dictate to you what you should and shouldn't do in your relationship. Only you know that. But I do see that there are a majority of you who are going to walk away. For those of you who want to stay, you have a whole lot of work ahead of you. It's not going to be easy. And it may be you that's really going to need to lead this, um, lead you both towards healing. Because what I'm feeling is that the other person doesn't see things as clearly as you do. And of course, this is between you and I, and that's not something that you're going to say to this person. That's never a good thing to say because you don't want to put this person even more on the defensive. But just keep in mind that it's easier for the group that's going to walk away because you don't need to worry about who is thinking clearer than who, and you know you just know you're thinking clearer and nothing can be done about it and you just walk away. But those of you who want to stay, if you're going to have to find a way to get them to see the light, so to speak. And I am certainly not promising that you're going to be successful doing that. You may not be able to. And I know that group, you don't want to hear that, is what the death card in reverse is telling us. All three? Reversed? No. Yeah, I didn't think so. All of these are upright. Yeah? Queen of Pentacles. Okay. Yeah, mhm. So the Eight of Wands is telling me that this is it's kind of like things are beyond your control. You're not going to be able to control it all. As much as you're going to try and save this relationship, it's just kind of like, it's kind of written in the stars in a way. Yeah, it's just beyond you. You're not going to be able to control it. What will be, will be. You can't. What just came to mind with the King of Wands is you can't control other people's behavior. You can only control your own. Yeah, I'm feeling very sad. I'm very sorry. Um, yeah, and I'm feeling it more and more. Like you're just not going to be able to save it, I don't think. Um, the Queen of Pentacles and the Emperor, you know, the Six of Wands, you've got a good outcome ahead, even though you may not see that right now. But it's a saying here that it's all for the greater good. And you do have better times ahead. You just need to move in that direction. More tarot? No. Higher self. Whispers in love. Choquette. Messages from the universe. Oh, Ganesh. Ganesh is here. Ganesh wants to talk to you, which makes sense. Determination. Yeah. So Ganesh seems to turn up when, there's like a life change, right? Like that saying, one door closes, another door opens. Ganesh is about the opening of doors and the clearing of paths. Acceptance. Acceptance. Okay? This is exactly what I was talking about here. You're going to need to accept the outcome of this. And that fighting this death is not going to serve you well. Empowerment. You you can do this. You have everything you need within you to resolve this for yourself. And by resolution, I don't mean in saving the relationship. I mean in having an ultimate resolution in your life. In Scorpio's life, to move forward for Scorpio's greater good. Determination. Determination to build a healthier life for yourself. To release yourself from what keeps you up at night. You know, what's turning your stomach constantly and making you angry, giving you headaches and all that business. It's time for you to make up your mind and release yourself from this. Thank you, Ganesh. So my unicorn black. Very God spirit. God spirit. I did want the unicorn deck, right? It's fun. I got you. Coming. Intuition. Listen to the whispers of your heart. Use divination tools to help you decide. Well, this is one of them. Trust your intuition no matter what. Yeah, that's very good advice, especially in a situation like this. You're really going to listen, going to need to listen to your heart here. And what your next step is. Where else about this card? This card. Magic. Make a wish. Believe in miracles. Magic surrounds you. So these kind of cards, this comes up when a person is feeling like they're in a hopeless situation, they can't see their way out of it. You need to take a moment, like seriously take a moment of silence and have a discussion with yourself before you approach this person to have this talk. And remind yourself that no matter what happens, it's all for the greater good. And I know a lot of you, again, are hoping to fix this, but you can't hold on that tightly to it. I mean, if it's meant for you to let go, it's just meant for you to let go. So you need to walk into this discussion knowing that no matter what happens, it's for both of your greater good. And both of you are going to be okay no matter what happens. So I really hope this has lightened your energy, Scorpio, because it's really not as bad as it seems. You're going to look back at this months from now, years from now, and see what I'm talking about. That it's really not that bad, and that it did turn out well for you. Okay, Scorpio? I love you. Love, light, and many blessings.